What's up guys? Merry belated Christmas, Happy New Year. Welcome to today's Music Friday. I took a little break because of the holidays, but we're back. I've been holding on to this one for a minute, but today I am going to do Jack Harlow's That's What They All Say album. So let's get into it. A few weeks ago, Jack Harlow released his first studio album. He's had mixtapes, but I don't really care about those. For those of you that don't know who Jack Harlow is, Jack Harlow honestly came out of nowhere, especially in 2020. Early in 2020, his What's Poppin' track went crazy, and he's probably one of the few people that had a great 2020. His album, That's What They All Say, has about 15 tracks and runs about at 42 minutes. He's got a couple features with Lil Baby, Big Sean, Chris Brown, Tory, and a couple other artists, and for the most part they do a pretty good job of matching his style or at least complementing it. Production on this album is pretty good. Some beats are soulful, others are kind of old school, but for the most part they're all pretty chill vibes. Lyrics are super basic. On his highs, his writing is clean, clever, and heartfelt, but that's on a few songs, and for the most part we just get Jack talking about slaying women and balling out. Don't get me wrong, it's decent, but I would have liked if he covered a bit more topics. However, one thing I really liked about this album was the opening. Rendezvous is one of my favorite songs, and on it he speaks about his rise to fame. But what really stood out to me was that his style and his sound has nothing to do with where he's from. And what I mean by that is that his music sounds like it could be from any part of America. And I think that's what makes this album even much more compelling. After a few listens to this album, I keep getting these kinda Drake vibes. Throughout the entire album, we get these childhood memories and him marveling at his own success. We also get some bits of his romances that he's had around the country. Definitely inspirations from Drake, but with his own style. My top 5 on this album are 1. Rendezvous, 2. What's Poppin' Remix, 3. Tyler Hero, 4. Way Out, 5. Baxter Avenue. Rendezvous is my favorite track on the album, and it's the best way to open up an album. Usually the first track on the album will tell you how it's gonna go. The beat on this track is so good, and it's really well produced. Jack Harlow does a really good job with his flow on it. What's Poppin' Remix is another really good track on this album. And I don't really care what your thoughts are on Tory, because I can separate the art from the artist. The features on this song are amazing. Tory, DaBaby, and Lil Wayne go crazy on it. Another good track is Tyler Hero. The flu heavy beat is tough. Lyrically, we see Jack show so much confidence, and his flows are really good. Overall, this album is a 7. I'm not a huge fan of some of the tracks, but for a debut album, it was definitely surprising. He's got some catchy songs, and it makes sense that What's Poppin' is nominated for a Grammy, which is amazing to think that. But the remix for What's Poppin' is probably a top 3 remix in the past 5 years. So I expect his bag of topics to grow and to be much more sound lyrically. But a bright spot in this entire album is that if this is his floor, then he has a very high ceiling. So thanks guys for watching. I'll see you guys next week.